Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory. So, I keep going through my to-do list and my plans and what I want to do next with aluminum factory and all of that. I keep going around and round and round in circles, and what it all comes down to is I need to move a whole bunch of things into one place. And if I start right off thinking in terms of the aluminum plant, that's going to be a long way from the main base, and I need to reach out a long distance from there, places I haven't even been yet, pick up the various things. Not the best time to be building my first train route. So I thought instead I would start here, in the main base, or at the location where I have brought in 3 belts of stuff from the north and a couple of belts of stuff from the south. I thought, hey, what if I have a train running to fetch my steel stuff, train running down there to fetch the stuff. And we could use this area in here to be kind of the train station. Well, I really don't know what a train station looks like yet. So I'm going to step out here in the middle somewhere, and I'm going to place some flat ground, and we're going to see if we can work out what the front of a train station actually ends up looking like. Let's see, I've got my handy dandy. Well, let's clip it on up at this altitude. Handy dandy 5x5 concrete. I am not sure why I put it on top of there. Try that again. Better to. Oh, right. I think this little area right here must have been in order to keep my cover pack room. Yeah. Could put the power on the underside. Which actually begs the question of why I haven't made a something like this to begin. So I think, well, is there going to need liquid? Probably need several. I am going to be a little casual about the placement of it. I'm pretty sure I am running around. Oh. There's 2 of them. Come to here. Probably want to make a plate that has power under it. I am aligning the power on the edges of the blueprint area. In case I decide to clip something from the 5x5 blueprint on the top, I'll know where I think. There. Good measure, I will. Oh. Don't really know what the limits are on the cover pack, whether it's distance from wire or distance from probably. And I probably should have set these with the higher tier power thing. But now I'm pretty sure that I will have adequate hover pack coverage for this entire area. The first question is, how big is a rail curve? Put it on 5. Start fiddling with rail. I have not fiddled with rail in a very long time. I might remember some things, but I don't know what of what I remember have changed. So, let's see. Obviously, I'm going to need signals are my bread and butter. I love signals, but I think you can get them from the railway. So if I can get to all that stuff from. Let's start from here. Like the minimum we can traverse straight ahead is. Now if I start from somewhere, I can pull this in any direction I want, so I can't do a curve doing first. That's great. So one over and one up is really not. Start this in the middle. Foundation there. Over and one up is too tight. Over and two up is questionable, too tight. Is doable. So that's the size curve I will use inside my station area. I think what I'm going to do is a left-hand drive system. So we will be going out that way and out there and in on the end. We need to have some sort of a turnaround. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the train station. I'm out. I will go to the right, take the curve, and go left and out. So 1, 2. From here, that's my exit one. I have lost my sense of whether the block signals go on the right or the left. I think they go on. They go on the right as you are coming toward them. Now I have heard that you can, though this shows red on here, I can actually just put this anywhere along here and it will divide the track on it. Now that actually makes a track division. So one could do that and do it. Okay, so this is going that way. I want these to be the right distance apart for my blueprint. Let's go grab our rail blueprint. Keep track. I'm going to use the LCT as my spacing. So that's the spacing between the tracks that I want. Reference. There's the full station, or the full platform area. So here's where we're coming. I don't know how much space we're going to need. Probably a lot more than I've got here. Get the spacing set up at least. When we come out of the other end of the station, we're not going to be able to make the here. It's too tight. So he will have to go out that way and around. So 3 out and 3 over. Over like this. See if I can draw one up. Get a nice transition to a 45-degree angle. Get a nice transition straight. But there's our turnaround. That's not bad. This is where we would have station connect. That is a little bigger than I'd anticipated. The length of this curve, well, the distance from that edge to that edge, is going to be pretty much, it's going to be 6 foundations wide in. Yeah, it's 6 foundations, so it's going to be seven foundations wide for the platform, 6 wide from the center of the rail to the center. Okay, I can see I'm going to be doing that. So let's build that blueprint I was talking about. It's too bad that is so big that I can't do it inside of blue. Even the 6x6 won't allow me to do that full 180 turn. What I want to do here, down a ramp. Top of that, center this. And now we get the power going under. This doesn't give me any power nubs. Pick up a wall outlet Mark II. I'm talking about you. Here's them. And I think, just for fun, I am going to include power taps just outboard of the center line. Is that highlighted? little overkill. Got a little bit of a spacer there in the middle. Safe. Right in there like that. And now we go back to set that like, well, no, save blueprint. What I think I'm going to have to do is design this here and then lay it out at the proper elevation on this side. Ooh, I have to move this guy. My train station to have access to the south. Okay, we're doing good. Our maximum consumption is well above our production, but we have everything shut down. Oh, and I've got some high consumption stuff set up. We'll see where that goes. Oh, right. Part of the print. We're all marked. We go. Well, he's sitting out there in the middle waiting for us to put the foundation back underneath him. And we that. Let's put that on button 0 in place of the older slab area. Okay, so default apparently wants to raise it some. I can. here. Prototyping area. Do I want to? It's out. Yeah, I think I do. I think I want to try to put this far to this corner as I can. So I think I may be actually building a station with it. If I put it here, his power poles will be along this line. My original plan was for my 5x5 train station to be centered under the 4x4, whose center is the 2x2 of these guys. So I think our train-based power system is going to be on a slightly different grid. Let's set this up. It's where we start our curve. I'm going to draw this out this way. And I'm going middle of foundation to foundation. How many foundations? 12 foundation. Oh, 12 foundation. Three. .90 degrees. Plates. Wanted to step for 2 and 1 and going to be going that way. Our train will be arriving on this line and departing on that. So this, the train station. So clearly this is the front end of the train station, so we are arriving from there. And I am wrong about that. I'd be confused. So we want to be bringing 3 cargoes from that direction. Freight platform. Do they have a... I think it's just which side you want your cargo to come out on it. Train station is called Steel. Street. That was coming out. My luck will then nudged it. Pick this up. And now when a train comes in, we will unload it. So, do I want to have my belt work on the level, or I think I'm just going to expose the belt work on this level. We have 3 lines here. I was like, electrical, oh, need to be hooked up. I'm going to hook up the setters. So we're out to here. We are receiving goods. Don't need to worry about these. Industrial storage. We want to have a big buffer here. And not only do we want a big buffer, we want to be able to load it from all of our stuff. And I am going to place them. How about I put this one centered? Here's our train station, center one right here. And I'm going to put on the left, we have our 3 pieces of cargo. Now I'm going to use Mark V belts. Oh, one thing that I did do, you have some assemblers over there. I dropped one of my prefab assembler blueprints in place, and it is making the aluminum sheets there. It's made straight as it is. So we are going to bring her. So why am I doing this? I am doing because when the train is loading and unloading, it does not accept input or send output here. So if we wanted to have just one belt coming out of here, that belt would stop getting stuff when the train is present, and that could be half the time. Okay? So what we do instead is we bring both of these out with the fastest belts possible, and that allows us to fill an industrial container out here as quickly as possible with the stuff. Right. I suppose I should put in proper supports on the. I'm coming more to the conclusion of this base. The aesthetic is going to be floating plates, and I'm going to put thrusters on the bottom or something to make sense. All of these I have. So now, when we drop our cargo, this will burst into these guys as quickly as it can. And then we can have our normal one belt coming out of here, heading onwards. So, if I want these to line up with these, I need beams followed by encased beams, followed by pipes. Bruno. go. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to sever that link. We are currently building hardly anything in this factory. Good, because we're low on power. It builds in bursts because this is the build stuff that I can use to build stuff. This is kind of the strap factor. But now I just need to take this up that way. Let's see here. If I take that away, notice we are half of a foundation over into the next 5x5 foundation. And this is as close as we can do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a simple flat one out here. So, prints. Track. I would like to get my hypertube stuff going, but I think we're not going to hypertube up to there. Here's our first cheap track. Now, we need to gain some altitude. Why is cheap track so low? Oh, poo. Right. This is the base layer of cheap track. This is the base layer of this, guys. I'm going to instead one additional time I remembered H. So we're not actually connected to a blueprint, so it's just happily connected. Am I going to need power at any point here? I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Let's check and make sure it works. Let's actually do a run through using the whole set. Start off with the tower and the tube. Bring the power down. Center of it. Not going to do that. I have some work to do for the undersides here. I am thinking in terms of another. Oh, if I'm going to be clipping another print on the bottom, I need to make sure that this doesn't exist. Which means this, I need to take power from here back that way. That is on center. Okay, this isn't going to be a straight line. Fine. Once I get all of this done, we can visit maybe doing something to do. Let's see. Oh, how about that? Bar that. So starting, we're going to be doing CT. I remember that if we're going to be doing this, I think I could only put one of them in before I have to. This guy in. So this end is out here. We need something to jump in here. I could. So that meets up with it. Do that. Let's see if I can see what walkway it looks like. Is that my catwalk? Straight. Let's take a look at the catwalk. Oh, that doesn't match at all. Okay, so the catwalk's not matching. You instead then. I want to have a walk up to, or to bring it down. I'll bring it down over here. So now if I jump into this, I'm going to end up skyrocketing out the other end. That's fine. You can see my little hover pack on. Okay. And if you don't have electricity, the hover pack does help you get a nice, easy land. But I'm not going to have hover pack capability. Bear that in mind. So here to here, I think we can go a long way before another power. So CT. That needs to be just have a tube. Out of tube. I think this one needs to have. Stretches. Stretches. This feels like it's a very short train run, but it should be enough to get a feel for the rhythm, how this particular plan comes together. And might not have been a bad idea to power underneath or inside. I could run power on the inside of this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go revise our blueprint real quick. Oh my goodness. I think I am getting power from the rails. Well, that's convenient. Going back to the other side of the base, not convenient, however. Builder, special, blueprint designer, boom. I'm going to put some power nubs on the insides of the guys. So that oh, wait a minute. Doesn't save me anything. I still have to connect the power from one to the next. This guy, however, I could tear him apart on the blueprint designer to be able to put in power nubs fore and aft on here, which would make it a little. Let's do that. Blueprint. Keep track. Big deluxe guy. Where can I put a power? I can't have it stick out across this border. No. I don't want it to stick it out on the bottom because I'm planning on clipping a thruster thingy, something onto the bottom to make it look like it's being held up. On the outside. Power. Put a wall outlet Mark II there. That's not going to be accessible when I. And of course, wall outlets don't go vertically through foundations unless you bring them up from below, and we have no space below. I'm not seeing how I can run power on this in a way that won't violate the edge conditions and oh, that's interesting. Apparently, that worked. Hold on. What the phone? that. Sorry, I didn't anticipate designing my ripple. I don't like it. Okay, I just, doesn't feel right. Leave it there in case I want to try it again later on. I think we're just going to have to play it by ear, and knowing that we have, I mean, the whole point was to have electricity so I could slide along the rails, and we've got that. So, we're going to be going up a ramp, and I remember hearing that what you did was this centered half a foundation back, and then you start. Now, by laying the rail out all at once, some of these rail segments are longer than the 5x5 blueprints. It's not supposed to. Thought I had fixed the Z fighting. Oh. Dang. I'm not carrying my is so here you are, and I need about in it. Not actually. Okay, so now we need to send this up. We're going to need to do another train station up there, which is going to intercept all the, if you see where I'm pointed, that's where I am currently delivering to. We'll bring this train up and I will build something up there. I don't know what it's going to be or anything. But I do know that I have to build the ramp up manually. It's going to be a trick to, guess I'm just gonna have to let in on my own. Let's see here. Foundation. We need the double ramp, 2 meter. This uses asphalt. So to get this roughly the right place, how far do I stretch this? I think I have to put the blueprint in and put that in place. Blueprint really should be raised by it. Really, the blueprint should be 3, 4, 5 in place of this right at the mid level is where the height should be. Can I raise it 2.5 meters? Can my trains go up twice as fast? Because that might do it. Would I be raising it 5 meters? For the next station, let's see. Going to be stepping forward by 10 foundations. I suspect that's too steep for the train. I'm going to do a quick Google and check that out. So I don't want to waste a lot of time on the. Looks crappy. It's too steep. That's just not going to be a starter. I'll be back. Okay, I am back, and all recommendations are to use the double ramp 8 meter by 2. Start with. Okay, so needs to get us there. That our train put that on that. That one up inside because I want the that in here somewhere. Let's be raised some. Enter it here. And bring in the 6. Really wish I could raise by. There's our 2. At. Oh, we're just going to be doing this again on the other side, aren't we? We're going to be doing it a second time. Loop all the way up to where. Our looping 10. We're stopping half early because that's where we're going to start our bend down. That'd be a better way to make. So I can do the same on the other side. Brought it that far. So there's where I want to do that same trick I just did. I raised blueprint, so better bit in. Use it by 3. This is airing in the other direction. That's fun. Here. 6. That. This one's different because we have our power tower. Means I want to level it out. So let's count them. 10. So I think clips on here and we have where we want to be. We high enough. Answer that is not light. But I think if I raise that just a little bit, power my rails, not my power way out to the end. What I could do is have the normal power of the platform, have this rising to over. I'll have to do something to make this able here. Yes. Start with a painted beam here. Put out like that. I need something vertical. I want the beam to come a little bit higher. That out. And we still have some Z fighting between that. I can do about it other than drop my level here down. Our waypoint here. Somehow this needs to become a train station. Oh God. I don't know if I have brought myself to a place where I can't put a train station. Let's see if I make a curve. Going that way. On that edge right. Bring this down a little bit. Over. Of this. So I have. Oh, how about that? That's actually the correct width. We could have this look very much like that station down there. This mid. Outbound line continues on straight. Oh, and we're going to need to gain a little bit of altitude. So our ramps do not stop. And I think we have more than capability. Thought I needed to bring them up into a couple levels. Yep. So this power is now coming along these power lines, which are paralleling the railway. They're separate power connections from the rail. Let's see here. Interesting that we don't have to worry about that little thingy there anymore. This guy is going to require you know that it lines up with these guys. What I'm going to do is look at the direction. Oh, wait a minute. Can't encroach any further. Here's our outbound one. Set that. Space. We need to make this turn onto that. Be a good trick. We can do it is bring it up and make the turn, sidestep to get into the train station. That may actually be the cleaner way. I have done no signal. Half the fun. Right here. Gotta come. The easy is the corner that I want. Again. The right spot. I probably shouldn't use asphalt for this because it's hard to see where. And stretch as far as you. That's our exit. The entry needs to either come this curve to get onto that lane or come up to here. Okay, that's better. Now I can see where my center points are. So I up to here. Here, 1, 2. That gets you that line. Now you need to sidestep over. Gonna be same old. Here's so we are left-hand drive, so up here, make the turn, going back out to here. This needs to come down. Proper jump off. In this case, I'm straight down. Entry. We did do a left-hand drive and instead of just talking. Okay, Hypertube is almost as cool. Left-hand drive, we're going station, out of the station, jog left to the appropriate distance, turn to the right, we are. I could train it. Let's wait to put the train in until I got my station on. This really is a very bare bones rail area. What happens if I have guys here like that? I think my train's still coming. Find out. Okay, so we need great platforms. Oh, I have to guess where the station is. Goes from midpoint here to midpoint there. 2 each. Station number 1. Cargo's railroad station. Now, train stations look very large. That's how wide it needs to be. A road. Back. Is it right? Just fit. Station. The cargo on that side. Over there, we will have to have some stuff. That's fine. I'm a fan of the about big, trim it up later. So we're gonna have to bring our cargo, instead of bringing it up there, it needs to come down. That's my nickname for this location. I should be able to drive a train around without any signals. Let's test that. Locomotive. That way. Cars. I need to figure out a better way to route my hyper tube. Right. Here. through this station. So, let's see. This end is unload. Is that schedules on the station or on the train? Ah. Kidding me. So let's see. Train menu. Good timetable. Unload has been completed. Seconds. To leave these for the as the Oh, that was an achievement. It's quite possible that once we get these things cranking up, I will need to go make more fuel and make more generators. Let's see. Stop. Guess my first stop is down below. So notice that there was nothing there to load. Oh, wait a minute. It's low. Same problem here had there that I mentioned on the other end is that we need to buffer up all of our stuff, put it as quickly as possible. Oh, I brought it to the... And that's too low. Okay, so he came back and looked. That beep was, I'm done, I'm leaving, get out of my way. And now we inputs, and I'm going to put down some signals. So we want block signals. Block signals basically say, well, signals themselves, block or path, divide your rail into blocks. Block is the portion of the rail between two signals. That block signal says you don't go into the block, if they're, unless they're, oh, it's empty. So if somebody else in the block, you can't go in. Path looks ahead. It says you don't go into this block until there's space on after it. I may be crossing up my Victoria knowledge, but we have no crossing rails, so all of this is going to be really easy here. These are all block signals. They are coming out of the station this way, and I'm going to put this down. The idea that we will have multiple trains I put them. Wherever I put them, we'll put a cut in the rail. Do is make them kind of make sense. I have up top. This says do not, because these long routes, place them where I had to get a new. Having signals frequently means that you have trains following each other along the rail. Now, there is a concern where you have a path signal. If it's the same as Factoria, which I believe it is, you have a path signal. Block signals, you have path, and then when you have a block after that has to be big enough to accept the entire train, the path signals to do what you clearly intend. Cut here. If I wanted traffic to go ways on this, I would have to put signals on both sides. If you have just one signal on the wrong side of the track, the train won't be able to get past it. Because it would think it's on the track going. I do fairly careful and up. We have it. We signaled. If I go back and look at the notes, which have been up on the screen this whole time for you guys, but they got buried beneath the window for me. So the front car has to be steel beams. Steel beams coming in here. Now I'm thinking I will keep this much of this. What I will do is I will put a hole in this to take it down by a bit. Run it there across this way. Vertical. heavily. What I'm gonna do that is come over here. Okay, roughly there. To be there. Way down, so it's going to pass both. You only want to fill it from one hole because we know from our loading issues, we require both holes here, but these are only going to be running at some fraction. So we're going to be running one Mark IV belt, but our current design, 5 eventually. Down. You'll notice that when there isn't very much in there, is favoring the bottom one. I didn't know it would do that, but it does. So don't use boxes as splitters. I wonder if they could be used as priority splitter. Kind of expensive, but I think it would work. I wonder if they could be used as priority inputs if they're full. I wonder if it takes by preference from one of the two belts full. I'm going to go ahead and ride the train around once. Have the beams now. Let's not sit on top of the thingy that's going to be. So self-driving is. We are loading. Notice the belts on the far right are not moving. If we had a whole bunch of trains picking up, we'd only have the time between the trains to load up the cargo from the train. But at some point, if you are adding trains, you could be reducing your total amount of throughput. That's right. Not over here. Should be all right. Ready to supply here. God, it's full of beams. I can bring this across at it. Is on the left of this. All right, two things here. Bring my supply up. That. And my old supply needs to get sent to pressure. Bring my old supply right down like that. We're going to route that to a unit. Awesome. I'll just clip into it. So, all of the belts, all of the steel beams that are on the belt that we've replaced are going to be sinking. I'm going to get delivery of tons and tons of steel beams here. And the next row is industrial beam. Now I could wait for the train. I could use the handy dandy people mover. The downside of the hypertube is I can't get off in the middle. The upside of the hypertube is I don't have to worry about holding onto the mouse while I go from power pole to power. This guy, same thing. Your downhole is in the middle of this guy. Okay, I could have put this 1 meter higher. Notice it's just peeking through on this stuff. It should be. Check it. Train stops. Train. Oh, right, he wasn't loading. Okay, back. Wow, I got here hypertube faster than got the train on the focus at EIB. Second one. Here. And then hey, that's altered. Intention is to get all these empty, back up this line, feed it all, and replace the power connections up here, power connections from the so the railway now becomes my primary transport for that. This guy is it. Probably a good thing that we're not actually building. Like, I don't think we're building anything at all in the base right now. This base tends to sit overnight server, so it will tend to fill all of its containers, it will fill all its belts, it will fill all its input buttons. Pipe. IP or drain. So I have started thinking about just leaving things in the cloud. That way I can grab my coupons wherever I am. Same thing. Blues. Small stuff. So we'll see how this performs if we step up anything out here requires. When we do, we will eventually. I'm sure of it. I mean, there's got to be a reason to have this, right? And drain it. Silver rim. Should be to it. Run back and forth. Bad planning. Because the belts are actually easier to get from the top. I should have done the belts first. Need to get back up there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we do need to back up and get those guys around. Yeah, that was not a well-planned attack. See. Belt thingy. All cleaned up. So the corridor steel now serviced uniquely by rain. We now know roughly how big our train stations are going to be. Is Well, it's about the size I expected, but looking at the train station here, I think the problem is my base is smaller than I thought it was. And from here to Iron Heaven really is about the minimum distance that I would want to run. So, I think I can safely say that we're not going to need 2 trains. So, thing that put me way over on power, this build over here, because these are all using a tremendous amount. Push them back. I will continue. Guys configured for all clad aluminum sheets. There's no need to leave them overclocked, all of that. So notice how much power just this one thing was. So this allows me to go out to my pilot plant, my pilot aluminum plant, bring back a canister full of these, go collect up some copper and drop it in. And I opened all this out. I was running it like I showed you. I had it overclocked to 250%. I had sloops in there. So I basically went in and I replaced all the belts with Tier 5 belts. It's all apart. All Tier 5. This is set up so I can switch the recipe between the aluminum sheets that I need a lot of and the aluminum casings, which I also need some, but nowhere near as many. So mostly we'll have it on here. If I start to run low on casings, I just change the recipe. It's got the same inputs. Did I leave this guy's sloop? Let's check. Good. And the Summers loops. These are all things where if I really need a whole bunch of the output, I could just overclock it, sloop it, and get a whole bunch. Otherwise, just wait. That wire, but I think it would be a really good idea to get rid of it. So our next train station is going to be for these 2 belts. It's going to go off that way. And I think six, 7. I would I am going to move it right now, as a matter of fact. Power augmenter moved. I'm going to put it over here. I can't quite get up. Power, of course it's in. Decent enough. I would love to place just this one thing about any kind of anything alien. So we have 100 megawatts, 10% boost. Back up to. If everything in the base were running, we would still be overdrawn. And I think I'm going to cut it here. I will do the train down to the power station off camera. Kind of tired, I just chill for a bit. So I will see.